Good morning, everybody. I call the November 2nd, 2015 Saline County Commission Public Forum and Meeting to order. Will the clerk call the roll?
Commissioner Shadwick.
Here.
Commissioner Gall.
Here.
Commissioner Price.
Here.
Commissioner Larson. Here. And Commissioner Smith. Here.
I ask you all to stand and join me in a flag salute and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll move to the public forum, where it's a time where citizens may speak on county government issues, limited to 3 minutes. Not on the agenda today, which isn't that hard since there's not much of agenda. But is there anyone that would like to come forward at this time?
Karen Shade, 111 Wisconsin. Commissioners, it is unacceptable for County Commissioner John Price to declare that I'm done dealing with this upon hearing a proposal to address long-standing issues with the road and bridge shop. At least 48 employees work in a substandard situation. Commissioner Larson's comment that if it's been 10 years, what's one more year, can come across as cold and insensitive. It is unacceptable for county commissioners to decide to kick the can down the road and bring this issue to voters possibly in November 2016. This is different from other 2014 ballot issues, the school bond, the bicentennial center remodel, and jail expansion. Each cost $13 million or more. Road and Bridges shop might cost between $2.6 and $6 million. What can't the county commissioners decide, especially when $800,000 each year has been set aside in 2014, 2015, and 2016? While the jail expansion was defeated, inmates are being housed in other counties, often at lower costs. If the road and bridge shop deteriorates further, will we send our equipment to other counties to be maintained? How is that efficient and thrifty? It is unacceptable for county commissioners not to use their Saline.org email accounts. Given the controversy surrounding Hillary Clinton's emails, one would think commissioners would want the public emails sent through secured means. It's unacceptable for commissioners to meet sometimes for only a few hours a week while other issues loom large. It is unacceptable for 10 months to have passed since the 5-member commission was sworn in to begin to address jail-related issues. It's unacceptable for commissioners to create a committee tasked with reducing the jail population and not automatically giving key elected officials, the county attorney and judges, a place on the committee. It is unacceptable for the county commissioners to talk about marginally relevant topics before the state legislature representatives and not talk about topics that are very relevant, such as the possibility of expanding state Medicaid eligibility to adults to address unpredictable and high jail inmate medical expenses, and to also address the overweight trucks issue by fining both the trucks and the elevators. I think it's time for citizens to begin considering those who might be running in a 2016 campaign. 4 of you are up for re-election. It also may be time for voters to begin thinking about city and county consolidation. Saline County deserves better.
All right, thank you.
I'd like to make back on what I said was that I'm tired of being brought before us. Let's bring it before the public for the vote. You said the taxpayers. Well, yeah, they're the ones spending the money. I don't know how much money you spend a year on property tax, but there's a lot of people pay a lot of money, and we were representing the taxpayers. And yes, we've set aside a certain amount of money, and we have discussions of a certain amount of work we need to do out there to make things appropriate and safe. Spending $10 million isn't necessarily the answer.
The Salina Journal had a different point of view.
Well, the Salina Journal, the editor lives next door to our road and bridge man. They're pretty good friends. And they print what they want to print. They don't come and ask our opinion and go out and look at the building. They just print what they want to print. They sell newspapers. They sell your voice. You get a little attention, you know. Run for county commission. Get in here and do something. There's people run for county commission. I've talked to people, why don't you run for city commission? Why don't you do something? I don't want to do it. Run, be a part of it.
I am a part of it, just in
That's
an
as a
observer's
citizen, as a
watchful way.
citizen, yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Karen. Is there anyone else who would like to come forward today?
Ray Hruska, 235 North Santa Fe. Good morning, Commissioners. Ms. Shade makes it sound like, the county has been putting back $800,000 a year to pay for some of these expenses. And I'm not so sure that's the correct way to look at this, whether they're doing it for road and bridge. Road and bridge has responsibilities to take care of the streets. And
Bridges.
and bridges, yeah. So I would maybe comment about that $800,000 been budgeted per year. I'm trying to figure out where that money is.
Well, if you remember, we took 500,000 and we used it to buy
Gravel.
gravel this year. We don't have to pay it back. We might have to buy 500,000 more gravel. Might have to build a bridge somewhere. That money's there. There was a plan to spend $2.5 million, and we set aside the money so we'd be able to pay for it. When we did the plan, just like the plan they have thinking about right now, no guarantee it's gonna cost 2.6 million. When they came with a plan, it was 4.6 million, we dropped the idea. We fixed the roof, and we need to do some other fixing. We need to make things safe and appropriate for our employees. But another thing too, we don't have 50 people working out in the building. We got people out on road graders, we got people out on trucks, we got people out on the roads. There's probably maybe 20 people, 15, 20 people that work in that building. It's not the whole outfit doesn't work there.
Well, they're not there all the time.
No, they meet there in the morning. A lot of them don't even meet in the morning. They go right out on the road grader. So it's not that many, get your facts right, Karen, you're way off base. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just a time for public forum for them to be able to come forward and tell us their opinions, so we might disagree with them. But
Well, we've had, this subject has been talked about, quite a bit. And it's ranged from 2.5 million to 5 million.
10 million.
No,
10
it was
million.
10 point something.
Well, okay, 10 million. Well, I was guessing low then. If there's any money spent on road and bridge for a building, please do not bring in an outside consultant to give us an estimate. You call the people that are in that business and say, come out and give us the estimate and we'll take a look at it. We don't need somebody to tell us how we're gonna spend our money and spend 25,000 or 50,000. I mean, we got qualified people in this county that can handle all of these issues.
Right.
This is not rocket science, this is business.
I think what we're gonna look into now is the building we have, is it safe? And we're gonna find out that. We need to know, is that building fixable, is it safe? And that's the most important thing, that it is, that we have people working at safety.
And we'll be out there again on November 17th and hope you come out with us.
Thank you.
You bet.
I'll take you up on that.
Thank you, Ray.
Mhm.
All right, seeing no other comments today, I'll bring it back to the commission for regular business. Item number 1.
That's a request for action 191-15 with the CARE grant, and have David Neal, Planning and Zoning Director.
Mr. Neal.
Morning, Commissioners. I'll go over this kind of briefly. A couple weeks ago, we looked at this CARE grant, amending the budget. Basically, first to start with, all the budget in the CARE grant, which is used for radon and healthy home inspections, that is taken through the EPA. The city has the grant, and for lack of a better term, we work as a subcontractor actually doing the radon inspections, mitigation, and helping with the public. What we're doing here, the grant has been extended for its final year, this 2016 coming up. We're moving $5,000 from the county budget area to K-State to administer the grant. They do a lot of the paperwork, and I'm grateful K-State does that. It keeps it out of my hair. At that meeting, we discussed having the CARE grant expanded to all of Saline County, not just the city of Salina. Unfortunately, I tried to work it with the city and the and K-State. We're all favorable towards it. The EPA would not look at expanding the area of control for that. It's too late into the grant to change the scope of work there. That's pretty much all I have for you, just moving the $5,000 and having the chairman sign off so that the city has the appropriate paperwork. If you have any questions about the grant or what's going on, I'm happy to answer it.
We understand, you've explained
Pretty well.
quite well, and we understand completely, and it's, I think mainly the important thing is you might inform the public how they can come and get that test, and the citizens of Salina, so we can use it, the best abilities for the citizens.
And as long as I have the camera and I know there are people out there watching, please tell your neighbors and anybody else here in Salina, stop by my office in room 217. You fill out a quick form that says I live at this address so we know which address we're checking. And we give you a free kit. Basically, it's a little envelope that you open up, you set it in your house for about 5 days, and you seal it up and stick it in the mail. There's no postage, no nothing, no cost to you. Come in and find out if you have radon as a problem in your house or not. It's a good thing. If you want to find out more about radon, I'm just going to say go to the internet, and there is lots of information on radon.
Thanks for the information.
The other thing we're going to be doing is the city of Salina a couple years ago passed an ordinance to say all new construction has to have a passive radon system, which is basically just a pipe venting from below your foundation outside. We're going to be testing, well, asking people if they'll let us test their house to see how well those systems work. So we're going to see if the regulations in Salina are working well or not, and see what we can do to help out people.
It's a good idea.
And I understand these kits are only for those living inside the city limits?
Correct. The extension office does have them for $5. So there are other.
The county can purchase for only $5.
Exactly.
But you go to the extension office for that downstairs.
Yep.
When stop by my office, room 217, I will help you out.
Now, when they get that test and they send that into, and you find out, boy, they got bad radon, you call them and say, hey, you've got a pretty bad case of radon in your house?
They'll get a report from the lab, so it goes directly from the lab to them. We also get a report that says you have high levels of radon, which this is getting a little technical and it's almost meaningless if you don't know the numbers, but anything over 4 picoliters is considered high by the EPA and something should be done. If we get that report, we're going to send you a letter that says you have high levels of radon. We'd like you to do another test. We always double check, make sure the first test wasn't a fluke. And then if you have high levels twice, we're going to send you an application to apply for the mitigation grant. Part of what we've done in the last year is shift some of our money so that we can do more mitigation grants. We want to install more systems and help as many people as possible.
But a county person wouldn't get that grant, though.
Unfortunately not, and that's what we were trying to get
What
expanded.
What does it cost to install something like that in a home?
It depends. It depends on whether you have a crawl space or not, but typically about $750 to $1,000.
Now, say that you had a check and you had a high rate on, but you couldn't get the grant, is the city gonna make you fix it?
No, it's not a requirement to fix. We're not requiring anything.
But before you sell your home, you're gonna have to fix it, probably.
I would recommend it.
No, I think my mother had to fix her home before she could sell it.
I mean, I know for me, I would request a radon inspection on any house I'm buying, and if it had high radon, I would want that corrected, or I'm not interested. But that's just me.
The cost of administering this grant of $5,000, that's something you couldn't do?
It's something that K-State has always done for us on the grant. Yes, I have the technical ability to do it. This wasn't something that the county was ever involved in right from the beginning. This was a grant between the health department, which was an independent agency at the time, the city, and K-State. And as the health department became a county agency, and as the environmental portion came down into my office, that's how it trickled down into my area. Technically, yes, I can do it, but no, the K-State has been doing this the whole time. They have all the paperwork. They have worked with the EPA extensively. I would much rather save myself the headache and let them keep doing it.
All right. Further questions? Public comment.
I had a quick comment for David. You used a term here a minute ago about what is the high level of radon, and you used the picoliters. Is that what you
I
said?
believe that's the correct term.
Are you sure it's not microcuries?
I think that's another form of measurement. And you could be right. I'm not looking at all my information, and I am by far not a radon expert.
Well, generally, radon is radioactive material,
Correct.
and what measured it is a device that'll measure radioactivity.
Correct.
And of course, we probably already know the microcurie terminology came from the Curies in the early part of the 20th century, where they both died, husband and wife died from radiation poisoning.
Correct. And I believe the picoliters is a measure of air volume, the amount in the air volume. But what it comes down to, you have a professional lab doing the measurement, and they're going to be able to tell you that you are at elevated levels. Whether it's a picoliter or a microcurie, it's not going to matter. There's a number we're looking for.
Well,
Sorry, I'm not a scientist.
well, okay, I understand. You know, maybe, you know, when you make comments like that, a light bulb went off in my head, because I never had heard it actually measured like that.
All right. Thank you. Further public comment? Bring it back to the commission for action.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the RFA 191-15 CARE grant in its final year to move $5,000 to the K-State to administer duties as recommended by staff.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Item number 2.
Approval of county commission minutes for October 27, 2015.
Is there any public comment before I ask for a motion?
Karen Shade, I just wanted, in the copy I saw, it didn't list some of the people who attended the meeting. Judy Larson was there. There were 4 people in the afternoon. And I also didn't see anything in the minutes addressing the fact that Chairman Chadwick was not there at the afternoon session.
I believe that was
Okay.
Chairman Chadwick.
I'm just going from memory.
That can get us all in trouble, can't it?
I know.
Let's see. Well, anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm not seeing it real quick here, but
It could have been in there.
oh
in a
yeah,
couple different
under
places.
afternoon session, Commissioner Monty Chadwick was not present for the afternoon meetings.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? Commission action?
I move that we accept county commission minutes for October 27, 2015 as presented.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. That passes 5-0. Is there any? Go ahead.
I probably didn't vote on that because I wasn't here.
You still need to accept the minutes.
Do I need to accept it?
Mhm,
Okay, I do accept it.
Parliamentary-wise, you can't be up here and not vote. So,
well,
just so you know,
I should have asked that question before.
that's all right.
But I
And
just
believe me,
wanted to
normally I
make-
don't,
just
and normally I
wanted to
don't know
make
that. Very good. Is there any other business that needs to come before the commission at this time? Are there any other announcements?
George Washington, it's the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, to be grateful for His benefits, and humbly to implore His protection and aid.
All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you for attending.